Hey guys, it's Matthew Hawktalon here, and in this video I'm going to show you the gear and deck setup for our level 66 ice Adam Strong friend. I'm just warning you before I start. This is our most fluid character, and what I mean by that is that we change the gear and deck around a lot. But I'll just show you what we're using as of now. So let's just start with the gear. So for the gear, the best hood is definitely used. The best hats to use the Waterworks one, which is the Frostbite hood. It's just the best for the health, the resist, the accuracy, just all around stats. You could also use the 66 crafted hat if you know you're going against a storm or a fire, but usually you want that base resist and heal boost and stuff if you're not going against a storm or fire. So that's why we tend to use this one over the crafted one. So for the robes, the Waterworks isn't really that great. You can either use the Safari or crafted one, which is really good for the extra storm and fire resist, and also the 30 block and the huge amount of health it gives for this level. Or you could use what we started off with was the Celestian Snow Smock. You can just buy this in Bazaar, and the Universal Resist is really good for this one. Like when you're not going against a lot of storm or fires right in the beginning, this is probably the robe you want to start off with. For the boots, you definitely want to get the Glendemming's boots once you get the Warlord, mainly just for the resist block, like all around good stats it gives. It's definitely better than the crafted ones, so Glendemming's all the way for the boots. For the wand, you obviously want to use the Arena wand once you get the Warlord, just for the accuracy, just amazing stats for a wand. The Power Pip definitely helps for ice. To start off, you can use the Life Force Blade if you have it, or you can use the Quagga Blade, which is what we started with, just for the block. Nothing else really matters. So, next going to the Athame, you can either use one of two Athames. Since you're level 66, you can craft this Athame from Coyote Ghostmane, which is all where he sells all the 66 crafted stuff. It's good just for the heal boost, the damage, the block, just all around good stats. And the heal boost is just pretty good for this. It's definitely better than the Lexicon Blade, which you can get from the Tower of the Elephant. Another option could be the Cosmic Chris for the healing boost. It gives a really good heal boost and power pip. If you're going more for healing and more for damage and stuff on your ring, this is a good one to use. For the amulet, you obviously want to use a Life Mastery. I've seen some ices with balance masteries. I don't recommend it just because usually when you need the heal, you need the heal right away. You can't really wait for an overtime heal. So for the rings, this is definitely the most variety in our ISIS gear. So you can use, I don't recommend the Ariat band, sorry. From the Tower of the Elephant, it's definitely not the best for 66. But what you could use is either the Winter Tusk, Ring of Courage. It gives good block and stuff, good healing, good overall stats. You can use the Duelist Daredevil Ring. Sorry, it's really good for damage and every stat basically, but healing. So that's this is one ring you might want to use in combination with the Cosmic Chris, just to make up for the heal. You can use Alyssa's Chill Band. This one's pretty good for the unique attribute of resist that comes with it. If you want to go Jade with the with the Celestian Smock, you can easily get 60 plus resist with it. You could also use the Stellar Signet if you're going for more damage on your Athame. What you really want to do is balance with your Athame and your ring a good amount of heal boost. It's really your preference how much you want your satyrs to do, but it's definitely important. I would not suggest going for the Daredevil ring and only using this, because that's really not enough heal boost for nice. Personally, that's my opinion, but yeah, you can really do whatever you want. But that's just what we usually use is this and this. Then we sometimes change around the ring. For the pet, what you really want is just any defensive talents. The Blade Sharpens help so much on our ice guy, just because it saves room in the TC. because we don't need to put extra blades there, because we can just enchant blades and make up for that. The double resist is really important also. You want as much resist as possible basically at this level, combined with good heal boost. Then feeble helps for people who blade stack, and the other two abilities aren't really necessary. If this was like a perfect pet, it would get maybe like a heal or Maycast Conviction, or like Maycast Fairy, or even like some block or something. For the deck, you want to go for this. It's in the Bazaar. It gives the most cards for this level and the biggest sideboard, so it's definitely what you want to use. With the gear I just showed you, the stats will look something like this. Have like extra resist to storm and fire from the robe. That's really helpful because once you get a high rating, like around like 1600 or so, you fight a lot of storm and fires. The 51 resist is so good, you can tank people pretty well. You can't fizzle with this accuracy, and the damage isn't too great, but it definitely could be worse. Since you rely so much on blades, as I'll show you in the deck, it's not really a big deal if you don't have a lot of damage. And also the health's really good, so you can tank like huge hits, even like criticals. Sometimes they don't deal enough even with a critical just because of the base health. So now I'm going to get right into the deck. Okay guys, we're at the deck. So you want to put 4 Balefrosts in just to boost damage. I could always use extra damage and stuff. Make sure your opponent doesn't have extra damage from their bubble. The Frostbite, the one Frostbite's mainly just for a follow-up after you use like a big angel or something to break more shields. The 6 ice or 5 ice blades is just a blade stack, get a lot of blades on. Combined with the sharpened blade cards, you can definitely deal a lot of damage. The one melt, that's for if you're going second, you can use a melt on someone and know that they won't shield, and you can go for a single hit, or you can also use it against another ice, just to like prevent them from dispelling you, or just trying to waste some of their pips or something if you're going first. The 4 ice minions, we sometimes put like 4 or 5 in, or an extra one, just because the ice minion's one of the best minions in the game. It's really aggressive and stuff, and sometimes it'll blade you and stuff, and just forces your opponent to heal if they don't kill it, or just forces them to kill it and waste pips. The 3 Snow Angels, this is your big overtime hit. After you blade up a lot, this is a really good hit to use, and then like combine with like a Winter Moon as a follow-up to stun them and stuff. So the Steel Wards are really good because 99% of the time your opponent's going to use a shield, especially if it's a tower shield. It's really good to steal it, because just giving you extra shields, always good. The one stun block's really just for longer matches, just because if you know they're like myth or something, and your conviction's going to run out soon, or you know you're going to run out of convictions, you always, like, if you have nothing else to do, it's a good opportunity to stun block. Since it's free, it doesn't really, it's always good to put in. So we have the 8 tower shields. This is just to have a shield to every school. You can put extra ones in because you are ice, and the ice deck does give like more room for them. So that's always good. You can always like spam tower shields when you're in need of shields and stuff, or stack them with like set shields such as these volcanic shields. You have 5 of these in just because you fight a lot of storm and fires, and they're like the heaviest hitting schools, so it's always good to have specific shields to them. The 2 Winter Moons are just, as I mentioned before, the follow-up like after a Snow Angel or something. They're good for the stun and just to have. The 5 Gargantuans are good to just enchant the hits you have in your main deck. The 1 Imp is either to get rid of life dispels, or because the Arena Wand does only give 3 Myth Miners, to prevent yourself from using blades on like an Ice Miner. And Imp's always good to do that instead, just to get off like weaknesses, or an F3 weakness, or like tower shields, just whatever you need to get off. The legend shields are good for facing death and myths. I only keep 2 in there because they're not too common, and most likely they're going to go for like a big overtime hit where you can use a triage, which I'll show later in the side. The 3 pixies are definitely good just for a quick heal. The 6 satyrs are also good for a bigger heal. depending on your like ring in the name, they'll do more or less. Again, it's really up to your playstyle. The 6 convictions are just to block criticals mainly, and also like resist stuns if they're like storm or something. You know they're gonna stun. It's always good to have that extra resist to stuns, so you stun resist. The 1 infallible is just to boost damage. If you're going for like a combo or something, it's always good to put one of these up. And the 4 elemental blades is just to stack blades with the ice blades. Again, if you enchant them, you can just have more blades and do more damage. So, okay, so getting on to the side deck. Again, this changes quite a lot. You want to have like 1 Colossus. We sometimes switch it out with like a Wyvern. Enchanted Wyvern. It's really just like a finishing move hit that you have inside. It does more than like a Winter Moon, so that's why we keep it. The 2 Ice Blades are just the stack blades with the ones you have in main. The 2 Winter Moon, Lord of Winters, excuse me, are really good because it's like an ice mana burn and it does a ton of damage. If you want to like deprive your opponent of pips, either for like healing or hitting, this is a really good move to use, especially if you have a lot of blades and you're going first. The Ice Bird's really good to use to take off like a tower shield and put on another blade for yourself. I'd really only suggest it when you have 1 or no blades on, just because you don't want to waste blades on it, really. The 4 tower shields are good to stack with the ones in main. If someone goes in the strike or something, you just need an extra shield because you know they're going to single hit. It's always good to have that, or if you can't find a hit in your main deck and you really need a shield. Again, always great to find that. The Woolly Mammoth, we have 2 of those in, just for the bigger stun hit, kind of like the upgraded version of a Winter Moon. They're good if you, like, the more damage the base hit does, with all the blades, the more damage the big main hit's going to do, so you can get the most use of your blades. So this is just like an alternative to the Winter Moon. Depending on how many pips you have, you can go for either or. The regenerates are really good. The 3 regenerates are really good for when someone goes in the strike or something, where you know they're going to hit, like they put up an infallible or something, and you just happen to draw it just to get the health, get your health up as they're hitting you. So you have that overtime heal. The 1 Satyr is just for like a clutch moment. You can't find it in main deck, and you're just getting regens and stuff just so you can get the health right away. You don't have to worry about an overtime heal. The 3 triages are good for people who like to go for overtimes. Really just, there's not too many people, but mainly you have to watch out for myths, you have to watch out for deaths, sometimes fires. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, like ice is lives, but most people go for single hits these days, so they're not used as much. The 2 convictions, mainly if you can't find them in main, and this gives a little more stun resistance stuff, a little more block. I don't really think it makes a difference based on the percentage, but yeah, it's always good to have those inside. And then the 2 fortifies, it's just to boost the resist. If they put up like an infallible, you can just counter it with a fortify. The 1 infallible is if you can't find one in main, the one in your main deck, you can always use this. It gives a little more pierce than the one in your main deck, so it's always good to boost damage. 2 reshuffles are for those longer matches. I tend to only use 2 on this guy since, again, this deck and stuff is really built for Exalt. It's not really people my level. If I were fighting people my level, I'd probably throw some infections in, or also some cloaks. Okay, also for the last card, we have 2 elemental blades just to stack more blades. As many blades as you can stack is like really all ice is about. And just putting on blades, using minions to get off shields, and then going for just a big hit, either a single hit, or preferentially a single hit, or even an overtime would be fine. And what you want to train, if you didn't already notice, was just life up to Satyr, balance, you just want to train Elemental Blade, and if you can train Colossal, that would be great. Since we did a lot of side quests, it would level us up more if we did train Colossal, so we just trained Gargantuan. It's not too big of a deal. It's only like 50 less damage. Or, yeah. And then Conviction Infallible. So it's not too bad. And I hope you guys enjoyed this deck setup. It was requested, so I thought I would do it. As you can see, I do have a lot of training points, so I might be changing it up in the future, maybe train the spells and stuff, but that's pretty unlikely. So see you guys later, and leave a like if you found this helpful, and see you guys later.